What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective, and I'm here for the news. And here today, if you clicked onto this video, stick around. There's going to be some great clips we're going to be going over, and you also get to see my prediction on the election. I made my prediction about 3 weeks ago, and we're going to see was I right or wrong. A lot of times I don't like to speak in absolutes, but when I'm sure about something, I'm sure about something. Now, obviously, if you pick in a presidential election, basically it's a coin toss. It's 50-50. Being right is not really that great of a accomplishment. But if you can detail exactly how somebody's going to win or lose, that's a little bit more impressive. But before we go over these clips, let's take a look at my prediction before we even get into the video clips. Let's take a look at my prediction and see where I was at and see what I said was going to happen before the election and see was I right or wrong.
Battleground states in the last-minute race to Election Day. In Michigan, Harris bringing out former Congresswoman and prominent Republican Liz Cheney, who was reminded.
Why Kamala would bring out Liz Cheney is beyond me. Now, obviously, she's trying to garner a few Republican votes here or there, but really, what she's missing is the vote of black people and especially the black man. Yeah. Do Negroes have any kind of camaraderie or any kind of connection to Liz Cheney? Absolutely not. Does Liz Cheney give a damn about black people or black men in general? No. Do we care about her? No. So there's nothing there. Why bring her out? They're making a lot of mistakes down the stretch with Kamala because this is not somebody who they were able to put out there over the long term, over maybe a year, 2 years and a half, 2.5 years to get her up and ready for this. So they're basically throwing a Hail Mary and hoping that everything works out with them having Joe Biden step down and her step in, that they can somehow sneak her in and slip her in. Do I believe that she will win? No. But is there a possibility? Absolutely. There's always a chance. But she's not a very good candidate. She's not a very good orator. She doesn't speak very well. She's a giggling schoolgirl. And she just doesn't have that aura, that demeanor. She doesn't really have anything. Like, only thing I hear people say, you got to support her because she's a black woman, and she's not even a Negro. She's Indian, and her daddy is a light-skinned Jamaican. She's not even one of us. And it's going to be hard to get people to accept it. They're just not going to accept somebody who's only a Negro when it's convenient. And Liz Cheney, what a waste of time and a waste of space.
Voters about Donald Trump and January 6th.
He sat in his dining room and he watched the attack on television. He watched it. People pleaded with him to tell him not to leave, and he wouldn't.
And tonight, a new Washington Post poll shows a very tight contest.
Let's look at that. Yeah. There we go. Trump won in Arizona 49-46. They got Kamala winning Georgia 51-47. They got. And let's take a look. I made this video 2 weeks ago. Let me look at the exact date. October 22nd. So basically almost going on 3 weeks ago. I made this video October 22nd. So you can see that, this is weeks before the election. And just watch what I say. Michigan, Kamala 49-47. Nevada is dead even. North Carolina, Trump is up. Pennsylvania, she is up. And Wisconsin, she is up. If she was able to hold all those states, she would have a legit chance at winning. There's no doubt she probably will win. Do I think she will hold all those states? Absolutely not. Do I think all the states that Donald Trump is up in will win? 100%. And that's, for me to say 100%, listen to me. Anybody who watches my channel, they know that I do not like to speak in absolutes. But I was absolutely sure that every state Donald Trump was up in, he was going to win. So let's take a small little listen again. No doubt she probably will win. Do I think she will hold all those states? Absolutely not. Do I think all the states that Donald Trump is up in will win? 100%. Every state that Trump is up in, he will win. Now, Nevada, as you can see, that's a 50-50. There's not a lot of people in Nevada. You do have Lake Tahoe, Reno, and basically Vegas. Those are the 3 major cities in Nevada. That's where I stay, which is in Vegas. But yeah, I give Trump an edge, and most definitely I give him an edge in Nevada. We see he's up in North Carolina. He's up in Arizona. Georgia has become a lot more liberal over the years. But even at that, I don't know. To me, that's 50-50. Michigan, I think Trump. When it comes time to vote, I think Trump will probably win Michigan, and I think Trump will probably win Pennsylvania. She might take Wisconsin, but I think Trump should look at how things look right now, as tight as they say they are. When white people get into them booths, they're gonna vote against this woman. They do not. Most people just don't like her. She's not. She doesn't have a inviting personality. Everything seems fake and scripted. But that's all politicians. I don't want to just throw it on Kamala like she's fake and scripted. Nobody else is. Most politicians are fake and scripted. But Donald Trump, we know he's coming off the cuff, and a lot of the stuff he's improvising on the go.
Harris with a slight edge in Pennsylvania, up 2 points, 49-47. In Michigan, up 49-47. Trump leading in Arizona, 49-46. And North Carolina leading 50-47. Former President Trump.
And I just want to go over that clip. That was my prediction that he was going to win. Now, this is where I was wrong at. No way did I think he would win every single swing state. I thought he would win majority of the swing states. I thought maybe he would win Wisconsin, but he would lose Wisconsin, but he would win Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, some shit like that, Georgia, which is mostly red. I considered that, but I thought maybe he might win Arizona or Wisconsin. But overall, he would win majority of the swing states. Now, that's not what happened at all. Let's take a look at the electoral map. Now, you look at this map, y'all. Donald Trump ended up winning what they call the blue wall: Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, which is mostly red, but Obama won. And Obama, I think, won Georgia once too, maybe twice. I know Biden won Georgia last time. So Arizona, Obama won Nevada before. Listen to me. She lost every swing state. Nevada, Arizona, which they were calling Georgia a swing state, North Carolina a swing state, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Minnesota mostly votes blue most of the time. So, yeah, that's kind of a swing. I guess you can give her one, I guess, if you call the Minnesota a swing state. But this didn't work out. This was a blowout. I think Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, maybe worth 11 electoral points. So I think he ended up winning 311 to 226. That's a rout. That's the equivalent of losing a football game 38-14. You got whooped. Like it wasn't close. But it is one thing I would like to say about Kamala. Number one, she was never a good candidate. Sticking her in the race with 3 months to go, looking at it now in hindsight, was the best thing to do. Now that I kind of got to see the whole picture, she ran for president before, and she had to drop out of the race because she wasn't likable. So she got 69 million votes in America in a 3-month span. That's pretty impressive when I really look at it, honestly, considering that she wasn't a great candidate. So to garner that, considering that she didn't have really no real policies to stand on, considering that she doesn't have a likable personality, she's not a great orator, she laughs a lot, she doesn't answer questions in a great way, she can't do nothing off the cuff, she can't think on her feet. Considering all that shit, y'all, 69 million votes, to me, that's the best she was gonna do, looking at it now in hindsight. There was no way she can do better than 69 million. Donald Trump was always going to win this election. And that's why I told you in the video I made 2 weeks ago, every state that Donald Trump was up in, he was going to hold. To me, that was a fact. In all of the rest of the states that they were saying she was slightly up in, I told you when the white people get in that booth, they were gonna vote for Trump. They were not voting for Harris. And I keep hearing black women say that, hey, they didn't vote for her because she wasn't a black woman. No, they didn't vote for her because she wasn't a great candidate. She has zero policy, and she's been running, and she's vice president with Joe Biden. So those things were working against her. Me personally, I think if Michelle Obama would have ran, she'd have smoked it. But obviously, all we can do is speculate that now. That's all opinion based. But we know, I think most people would agree that it would have been a much closer than this. That's why I said I don't think he would have beat her. I don't think she would have lost Arizona. She most definitely would have won Georgia. Georgia got so many black people now in the Atlanta metro area. Um, North Carolina would have been up. Pennsylvania, I think she would have won Pennsylvania. That's why I say honestly, I think Michelle Obama would have won this race. But you never know. Now it's just all like a dream matchup now. But let's take a look at this. Kamala Harris voters feeling depressed and anxious. Look, the reason why I can make fairly good predictions is because I take all the emotion out of it. I'm not biased either way. I'm apolitical. I think they all crooks personally, but there are people who better on particular topics, particular policies. Maybe if it's the economy, or maybe if it's like you really into the war with Israel and Palestine, whatever it is, there's different politicians that fare a little bit better in those situations. But the number one thing you can never do is be a fan, which is short for fanatic, and you can never ever pedestalize people and put them people above you. They're just human beings. A lot of these people are depressing on antidepressants in the political world for the things they have to do to be in the positions they are in. And you putting this person higher up than what they would ever put themselves. I'm talking about when they're alone in their own thoughts. These people ain't shit. A lot of these people are degenerates at their core. They're rotten. So when people say feeling depressed and anxious, why? All of these politicians behind the scenes are working in cahoots together. That's a fact. Let's take a look at the clip.
Donald Trump has been elected as the next president of the United States.
So overnight, more vote results came in from key swing states, including Wisconsin, which pushed Trump over the 270 electoral vote.
That nigga look constipated. Damn, she looked like a substitute teacher.
From the presidential race, Andre, good morning.
Dave, Pam, good morning to you both. It's a big change from 2020 when it took days before a winner could be named. This year, Donald Trump was projected as the winner less than 12 hours after polls closed on the East Coast. Here's a look now at how each state voted. While the election was expected to come down to 6 or 7 swing states, Trump appears poised to win all of them, including the key states of Pennsylvania and Georgia. Now, at this point, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, and Alaska have not been called, but it will not make a difference anyway. In many of those states, Trump outperformed even his 2016 results. He is also leading by more than 5 million votes in the popular election. And if that holds, it would be the first time Republicans have won the popular vote in 20 years. In a late night speech at his campaign headquarters.
And look at Trump's son, Barron fucking Trump. God, he seems like 6'9" now. I remember when he first ran, he was a little bitty boy. Now he's 6', he's towering over everybody. He is huge. And one thing I say about Barron, he looks like a psychopath. I'm not saying he is, but by God, if you ever seen a serial killer, the look of a serial killer, he looked like one. My God, he looked like Dexter off the HBO series. Jesus Christ. But yeah, he's huge now.
Florida, Trump thanked his supporters for turning out across the country and promised to pursue his agenda, saying he had won an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. And look what had happened. Is this crazy?
It was a somber scene at Howard University in Washington, D.C., where Kamala Harris supporters gathered for her watch party. Harris did not speak.
As you can see, I do have another little small clip I'm going to go over. But before the election, man, like a few hours before the numbers start coming in, people were out there dancing, popping their ass. I mean, they were having a jolly old good time. And the sadness and the somberness that came over you, the thought that there was a goddamn nuclear bomb dropped on one of their cities. I mean, the depression set in fast because she went down so fast that it was like no hope. At 6 o'clock, I was at work. I hadn't checked up on the election results or anything, but I looked at my phone. I think it was like 198 to 98. So I said, this shit over. And these people say, well, you still got to have the numbers. Nah, I told the people at work, no, this shit is over. You can't be down like that to a Republican. The numbers got to be you actually got to be ahead. Like in every area, you want to see early numbers. Even if you end up losing the state, you want early numbers for everything for you to be ahead. She was getting her ass whooped early and often. It was never a game. Yeah, she was down 21-0 in the first quarter, equivalent to football. Our basketball game, it was 35-14. It was bad. So, but like I said, man, a lot of these people want to get behind. They want to blame black men and Latino men and say it's because she was a woman, but they refuse to accept the fact that this was a bad candidate. And the Democrats, say this about the Democrats. The Democrats have become where they invite all these fringe groups into their circle. And then they cater to fringe groups. But the problem with catering to fringe groups is that fringe groups don't garner a lot of votes. Like you can't put everything into trans people. It's a small community. Community of trans are not very big. And if you put too many apples in that basket, you're gonna destroy the whole basket because they can't help you. You done put 2 apples in there and you need a whole goddamn apple field. You need a whole orchard. You need to put 3 apples in the basket. So the Democrats got a lot of problems. The good thing is they got 4 years to find a real candidate. But the problem is the candidate you got to create some separation for some of these groups. Because like I said, there's too many fringe groups within the Democratic Party, and they have to try to cater to all these people, which is impossible. And the Republicans, they don't have to do that.
Last night, instead, campaign court chair came out to address the crowd.
We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the vice president tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow.
So they came out. She didn't have the common decency to come out and talk to her people. She had to have wine, Xanax, and whatever kind of other antidepressants she's take on a regular basis. Look, Kamala, she went as far as she can go. She can't. There's nowhere left for her to go but back to the Senate. Maybe after you're the vice president, can you go back to the Senate? I think you can. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think you can go back to the Senate. So she could probably go back to the Senate and try to wield some power from there. But yeah, her winning this election was never going to happen. They said Negro males voted for her like 78%, pretty high, but it used to be damn near 90. The black woman came out in full force for her, but that didn't help. It wasn't enough because white people, when they get in there, a lot of these people are voting on. They want a good policy, especially when your pocketbooks is hurting, especially when these bills is piled up, especially when just to try to get by, you got to try to work 2 jobs and shit. Now, man, that shit is, that people feeling that. You go to that grocery store, everything's sky high.
Surrogates have already started assigning a blame, with some arguing over the choice of Tim Walz as VP candidate.
It ain't his fault.
Criticism from Democrats on her stance on Gaza. Now, Trump will become only the second person to hold non-consecutive terms following Grover Cleveland back in the late 1800s. Harris is expected to speak later today. We're still waiting to hear details, and we'll let you know.
All right. Thank you, Andre.
Man, wasn't nothing pretty about her. Jesus Christ. Let's take a look at this next clip. Elon Musk joins Trump call with Ukraine Zelensky. Now, Elon Musk has played a huge role in this presidential election. He has weaseled and finagled his way into Donald Trump's cabinet somehow, some way. But he has donated a lot, and he has donated basically all of Twitter, which is now X. He has used that whole platform to help push Donald Trump's agenda, which is really his agenda. And this is why I'm apolitical. And this is where I criticize Trump. Trump is in bed with the Zionists. Now, the whole United States government is, but he's super pro-Zionist with Israel. Elon Musk is they all Luciferians, but Elon Musk is most definitely a Luciferian and a devil worshiper, and he comes from that background. He was a whiz kid. Wiz is just short for wizard. And people say, sometimes, you go into these things, people be like, oh man, ain't nobody no damn wizards. Yes, there are wizards, warlocks, people who practice witchcraft and all type of shit and ritualistic behaviors within the government and within high power corporations and in society. And he's one of them. There's no doubt about that. He is a Luciferian. And he has a lot of feel of like an antichrist type of figure. I'm not saying he's the antichrist, but I'm saying he has that feel because now he's a tech wizard. So he has everything lined up, whether it be this, I think, what is it, Starlink internet, rockets, electric cars, and everything he has in the palm of his hand. Now, only thing was left for him to do is to leave his footprint within government or get his foot within government. And now he does. They done let the devil through the door. Let's take a look at this clip.
President-elect Trump working on putting together his team for the White House, and the president-elect says he has now spoken with dozens of foreign leaders since his re-election. Tonight here we've learned top Trump supporter Elon Musk was on the call with Trump and Ukraine's President Zelensky and listening in on the call with the president of Turkey. ABC's Rachel. Now,
why would he be on a call that's involving the military-industrial complex, considering he's a tech guy who's in with rockets and electric cars? Why is he on that call? It sounds like he's going to be running way more stuff behind the scenes than we can ever imagine. He just got there and he's already on the phone with Ukraine. Hopefully, they're telling Ukraine we finna cut this aid off. We're not giving you guys another dime on a war that you're guaranteed to lose at this point. But I would doubt that. Who knows what's going on the calls? But it could have been. I don't know.
West Palm Beach, Florida tonight.
Tonight, a revealing new glimpse at just how influential Elon Musk could be in Donald Trump's administration.
We have a new star. A star is born, Elon.
Sources tell ABC News that Musk was at Mar-a-Lago, listening in as the president-elect took a congratulations phone call from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump at one.
You got the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, who's a former comedian, which makes this whole thing a real joke. Already kissing ass and trying to get more money because obviously they're losing money. I mean, they're losing the war. And if you're giving them money, now they're just using all these people who's within the government of Ukraine. They're going to use this money to pocket themselves and eventually get out of the Ukraine. There's no doubt about that.
Point even handing the phone to Musk, who then spoke with Zelensky.
Wait a minute. Look at Elon Musk. Make America Great Again hat. Where the hell did he get the demonic version of Make America Great Again hat? He didn't got the satanic hat. Make America Great Again hat. Where the fuck? What satanic Bible did he get that out of? That ain't how that hat supposed to look. It's supposed to be red, white, and blue. He didn't got his shit black on black and wrote in some goddamn American Horror Story writing. Oh, man, that's American Horror Story calligraphy writing. Look at that.
According to sources, Zelensky thanked Musk for his Starlink satellite system, which Ukraine has relied on for communication in its war with Russia. The world's richest man pumping upwards of $175 billion into helping Trump win.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
By election night, there he was, part of the Trump family photo.
Let's take a look at that. I want to see that photo again.
$175
see this photo
billion
again.
into
Pause this
helping
photo.
Trump win.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
By election night, there he was.
You can see he's right there. Oh man, he's right there with the look at fucking Barron. Barron is sprung like a Barron almost so tall he almost out of the picture. Yeah, he's right behind Trump. But yeah, look at Elon Musk. He's right there in the mix. This is where the real power shakers and movers are right here, Jack. And he's right in there. and he's going to get some shit done because he has the money, the finance. He's in the right end, the tech industry. It's going to be interesting. I don't trust him as far as you can throw him. He looked like he drinks baby blood, allegedly.
Was part of the Trump family photo. The phone call with Zelensky raises new questions about the sweep of his role in the Trump White House, especially considering his billions of dollars in federal contracts. Sources tell ABC News Musk was present while Trump fielded calls from at least one other foreign leader, Turkish President Erdogan. It comes as Democrats reflect on what went wrong. Tonight, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi telling the New York Times that if President Biden had dropped out sooner, quote, there may have been other candidates in the race. The anticipation was that if the president were to step aside, that there would be an open primary.
And yes, that would have been better for the Democrats to get an open primary to where the people could actually pick a candidate, and then you can have a little more energy and a little more, a little more push behind that particular candidate. But since they stuck Kamala Harris in there and made her the candidate, considering they knew she was what took so long. Now, I covered this in other videos, and I said it in the other videos. What took so long for them to do it is because they didn't think she can win. They did not, but she did as well as she was going to do. But the reason it took so long for them to convince Joe Biden to drop out because they just didn't have the right candidates. They knew it. They didn't have no real star power. They didn't have no real energy. But if Biden would have dropped out and then the people could have actually picked in the primary of who they actually wanted, you had a slightly better chance. But even then, I don't think they would have won. But at least you would have had a better shot at it.
Pelosi telling the Times she has spoken with Kamala Harris and believes a competitive primary could have helped the vice president. I think she would have done well in that and been stronger going forward. But we don't know that. That didn't happen. Tonight, Harris's former running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, returning home, telling his supporters it's time for Americans to put the bitterness of the election in the past.
I think
that ain't gonna happen.
We can be quick to judge people who don't agree with us, to assume that they act out of cruelty or fear or self-interest. I think we ought to swallow, and this is me in this as I'm speaking about myself, swallow a little bit of pride and look a little harder to find common ground with our neighbors who didn't vote like we did in this election.
That ain't gonna happen.
Sources tell us President-elect Donald Trump spent the day at Mar-a-Lago meeting with a team of advisors going over national security positions in his administration. We're also told that his new chief of staff, Susie Wiles, has been deeply involved in those discussions, David.
Rachel Scott again tonight. Rachel, thank you.
And I just want to go over these clips right here to prove to you that, yes, he was, look, if you're a woman and you're in a relationship with these super powerful men, you have to accept whatever religious belief that they have. And these people are most definitely Luciferians, Saturnians. In the Bible, they call it pagans. They believe in the worship of pagan gods, the horn god. That's why even on his little lapel, he has some kind of horn deity. And even, look at this lady. Like, look, if you don't believe me that this lady's a witch, fair use, fair use. Look at this shit. Look at this demonic demon. Look how she's dressed. Look at the little demonic little choker on her neck. Look at this lady. I want you to just take a close look. This is a witch. 1,000%. Now, this is his ex-girlfriend, but she ain't dropped one witch. He didn't drop. Listen, you didn't drop one witch not to get with another witch. He most definitely got with another witch. But in their world, they got different kinds of witches. Dark witches, white witches. They all witches is one and the same. But in their world, they think it's a little bit different. That's like I did a video a long time ago. Tom Brady was on he was doing a Gillette conference, and he was talking about his wife is a witch. But he said, this is Tom Brady's word for word, quote, I could quote him on this. He was on stage and said, my wife said, you lucky I'm a good witch. Because in that world, there's good witches and bad witches, but they're all witches. They all practice rituals. And he said his wife would do rituals for him. This is a fact. You can Google Tom Brady, Gillette conference, says his wife is a witch. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. And you can see him say it out of his own mouth. But as you can see, this lady is a witch, 100%. I just want to go over there so you can get a look at her and see who he's in cahoots with, who he's with.
6. And even though there were
Let me see. See if they got another picture of her.
when they both joke about
But yeah, you can see right there. Yeah, look at them. Yeah, they drink blood and do all the rituals, allegedly. All the sick and sadistic things behind the scene. Homosexual acts, everything you could dream of. Sacrifice, all that. Yeah, for sure. They billionaires. Yeah, they live like that. But let's take a look at this. 'Cause I want to see this clip right quick. This is only going to be like 30 seconds, but I'm going to go over this. I want you to see how the party started. How things started out. Oh, let me go back. Oh my God, it's a five. My God, this video is long. Let's see how I just want to see how the party was going in the beginning. Look. Look at everybody's dancing and they laughing and they playing. Look. Oh shit! Look, oh, it was a party. That's Shawty Low. Look at him, y'all. Look at this shit funny. Oh my God. They had them Kappas and Alphas and I don't like them people. Them Kappas and Alphas. I mean, some of them cool. I know a few. I admit it's one of my jobs. She cool. But I'm saying overall I don't like them. I'm not saying individuals I don't like or can't like. I do. But overall, I don't like all that sorority shit. It's too much homosexual behavior, especially for the man. They want to have you lick mustard off a fucking stick, and then they want to slap you on the ass with a paddle, and then they want to sit on the toilet, have you lick the rim of the toilet, and it's just too sick, and it's always homoerotic, and I don't like all that shit. Yeah, I don't like all that. I mean, look. That nigga hairline is fucking all the way in Botswana. That nigga hairline is in Kenya. That ain't no Negro. Negro hairline don't look that bad. Look at this nigga's hairline. Wait a minute. I want to go back. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Rest in peace, Rich Homie. Rest in peace, Rich Homie. That's an African. I get that's 100% African. That most definitely not a Negro. That nigga hairline, that nigga head look like a goddamn eraser. Look at that nigga's hairline. It look like he got edged up with a goddamn bowl. Look at this. Oh, hey, look there. Oh my God, that shit behind his ears, ain't it? And I think he like them boys. Yeah, I think he one of them guys. Part of that elemental P community. Yeah. Look at that man's edge up. Everybody's laughing, dancing. Everything's a good time. Now I'm gonna show you when shit ain't no good time no more. Let me take you back to when shit all of a sudden it's not a good time no more. Let me show you when shit ain't a good time. Nah, this ain't it. Shit ain't nothing ain't fun no more. Shit starting to slowly die down. Shit slowly start to die down. And before you know it, they kept the music going, y'all. They kept the music going, but look at the crowd's energy. Look at the crowd's energy. Look at Where's Waldo in the middle. Look at Where's Waldo. Look at his eyes. Look everything just went downhill. Now the dancing didn't stop. The eye cutting has started. They knew this shit was over. The numbers had poured in. And then she had lost in a landslide. A landslide. I like to get a picture of the crowd. I just want to see how the crowd is looking. Look, what happened to the Kappas and the Alphas and Omegas? They were stepping and dancing niggas' feet so now. And you know when you lose it, everything's tired, everything hurts, you don't feel good no more. Everything is going down the damn drain. Fantastic. You gotta love it. But but I want to say this. I'm not the type of person to get mad at who you voted for. I don't care who you have every right as an American citizen to vote for whoever the hell you want to vote for. But no way, shape, or form you should be mad at somebody else on who they voted for. People always say, well, the Republicans are racist, so are the Democrats. You have a wolf and a wolf in sheep clothing. I'd rather take on the wolf 100 times in a row because a wolf in sheep clothing can get right next to you. When the wolf comes in the door, you know it's a wolf, and I know I got to fight. So give me my racism up front. Don't give it to me hidden. Don't give it to me behind smiles, hugs, and thumbs ups. I don't want none of that shit. You can keep it. It's for the birds. So yeah, you looking for a non-racist party, go to your next family reunion. Then we're going to go over these last two small little clips. Now that Trump has won, let the shenanigans start. You can expect to see a lot of uptick in racial violence. Some of this shit will be orchestrated. A lot of it will be orchestrated for sure. But let's take a look at this silly, ridiculous, wacky clip.
The FBI says it's in contact with the Department of Justice and other federal authorities in relation to, quote, offensive and racist messages that people have been getting across the nation, including here in Oklahoma. A local mother sent this text to Fox 23. Says her 13-year-old daughter received it.
It says, you have been selected to pick cotton at the Oklahoma Tulsa Cotton Plantation. Be ready at 5 a.m. sharp Thursday, November 7th with your belongings. Our Trump executives will come get you in a brown van, prepared to be searched down once you enter the plantation. You are now in Plantation Group B. And this scares you? Really? This is what niggas scared of. And listen to me. I wouldn't be surprised if this one sent out by Democratic groups and shields. Seriously. Could this be some racist group? Maybe. But you don't have to if you got your guy in office. You don't have to go above and beyond when your people are already running shit. Yeah, this is ridiculous. And it's comical. Ain't nobody coming at 5 a.m. sharp on November 7th. November 7th is obviously passed. But nobody's coming on Thursday. Nobody was ever coming. Like, what does that mean? Like, why would you be offended? How is this a news story? Well, I can see why it'd be a news story because obviously they want to try to pay the narrative. But seriously.
Election. It reads, quote, greetings. You've been selected to pick cotton at the Oklahoma Tulsa Cotton Plantation. It continues on to say, Trump executives will come get you. Tulsa Public Schools sent Fox 23 a statement Friday that says in part, quote, we are aware of some recent racist or threatening messages circulating nationally and can confirm this has reached some Tulsa Public Schools communities and students as well. It goes on to say the content they've seen locally is, quote, identical to that shared in national reports. The district says it is putting together a report on the text, but there is no credible threat to students. NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson also released a statement saying, quote, these messages represent an alarming increase in vile and abhorrent rhetoric from racist groups across the country who now feel emboldened to spread hate and stoke the flames of fear that many of us are feeling after Tuesday's election results. It says, quote, the threat and the mention of slavery in 2024 is not only deeply disturbing, but perpetuates a legacy of evil that dates back to before the Jim Crow era and now seeks...
We don't have to worry about no slavery or Jim Crow. We all live a form of slavery. The whole country's called debt slaves. You're indebted to that cell phone. You're indebted to that light bill. You're indebted to that rent/mortgage. You're indebted to that car note. You're indebted to everything that's damn near around you. These people are so rich now. The pennies that they pay us is like slave wages to them. So you don't have to worry about somebody coming to pick you up. So when you show up to that trucking drive, when you show up to that kitchen, as soon as you show up to the fucking bus, to the bus stop, to the bus thing, to drive the bus, wherever you show up to the factory, to the warehouse, to grocery store, wherever you showing up to, that's your plantation, brother. You heard it here first. Well, not first, but you heard it here. That's your plantation. Nobody's coming to get you in no brown van unless it's a shared Uber and they come to get all y'all, take you to the airport. Stop the cap. Derek Johnson, CEO, President CEO, ought to be ashamed, even commenting on such nonsense.
For then Black Americans will enjoy the same freedom, life, liberty, and happiness.
Hey, listen to me. Nobody's more unhappy right now than white people. Their birth numbers are really low. The drug abuse within the white community is at an all-time high. It is skyrocketed through the roof. A lot of them are not in great shape. Once the white woman gets past a certain age, she ages very, very fast. Look, man, nobody's more depressed than them. So I'm not supposed to be, I'm not going to act like for the Negro things are just terrible. Look, we all hurting financially when it comes to, grocery stores and pocketbook issues. Yeah, that can all hurt a little bit because everything is sky high. But outside of that, y'all, it's not that big of a deal. Seriously. Take a look at this last clip. FBI foils Iran plot to assassinate President Donald Trump. So now the Iranians are trying to assassinate Donald Trump. Get the fuck out of here. That's cause grounds for nuclear war. Do I believe that? Not for 1 second. Fair use, fair use. Using this video for educational purposes. Fair use, fair use. But these type of things are used so Israel can attack Iran full bore because they've been kind of holding back because of the Democrats in the position they was in with the election. I'm sorry, with the election. So they haven't been able to go full bore. But Donald Trump is 100% behind Israel, which for me creates a little bit of fear. This is why I'm not all the way behind Donald Trump, because he supports Israel 1,000%, down 100, 1,000%. And this thing can easily spark off World War III, because if you attack Iran's nuclear facilities and oil refineries, then they're going to do the same to Saudi Arabia and other oil refineries. And then once the price of oil skyrockets, then it affects everything in the whole world. All the food, all the merchants, everything just everything goes out of whack. And it can cause an all-out war. And that's what we don't want. Let's take a look at this. Uh-oh. Let me go back.
Three people have been charged in an alleged Iran-linked plot to assassinate President-elect Donald Trump. 2 of the 3 are Jewish Americans and the other an Iranian-American activist.
See, already, I don't believe it. They said it was 2 Jewish Americans, and they didn't let this Iranian. These 2 Jewish Americans probably played like they was Iranian and got this one Iranian man to get involved in this, because when they name these people, look. I want you to watch it. They don't really show these people face. They don't harp on who they are and where they from and who's they found. They just give you small details. Hey, these guys did this, and before you know it, we don't even hear about the court case. All of a sudden, the Iranian man to be the only one on trial. You have to be extremely careful with some of these cases. A lot of this stuff is staged and orchestrated, undoubtedly.
That's according to a criminal complaint unsealed today. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris joins us. And Jeff, you spoke with an international relations expert earlier. What's he telling you about the potential motive behind this assassination plot?
According to that criminal complaint, Dee Dee, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps instructed one of those people to kill President-elect Trump to avenge the death of Qasem Soleimani, one of Iran's top leaders who was killed in a U.S. airstrike back in 2020. Those 3 people.
So you telling me all the stuff that didn't happen, they want to try to kill Donald Trump for some shit that happened in 2020 with all these goddamn Iranian officials and generals and people within high rankings in their military has been assassinated. Going back to some shit from 2020. Stop the cap. Stop it.
People are Farhad Shakiri, Carlisle Rivera, and Jonathan Lodeholt. Shakiri, the man the IRGC assigned to kill Trump, was deported from the U.S. back in 2008 after serving prison time for robbery. But while in prison, he met Rivera and Lodeholt and hired them to target an Iranian-American activist. But the IRGC also instructed Shakiri to carry out other assassinations against U.S. and Israeli citizens located.
Oh, yeah. See, those two Jewish fellas got this. I would see. The two Jewish fellas got this guy. They just set him up on a dummy mission. Only for to use this as a news clip and as a talking point. That's crazy. You gotta be careful, man. These people know no bounds how low they will go.
Them to target an Iranian-American activist. But the IRGC also instructed Shakiri to carry out other assassinations against U.S. and Israeli citizens located in the United States, which includes Trump. According to the criminal complaint in September, Shakiri told the FBI that the IRGC instructed him to solely focus on assassinating Trump, and then in October told him if he couldn't provide a plan within 7 days to kill Trump, they would wait until after the election.
Under President Trump in January of 2020, Qasem Soleimani, a general within the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, was neutralized by the United States in retaliation for a number of Iran-backed militia attacks on U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria. And really, since then, Iran has had a long desire to really strike back at the United States, to retaliate as it sees fit. But it looks like this is a plot that came unraveled, that one of the members opted to cooperate, and therefore all three have now been charged with an August-based.
Well, the member he didn't opt to cooperate. He was already working with the feds. And I would imagine it's probably another member. They don't want to give away everybody. But I've been saying this for so long, even with the January 6th when they had the riots on the Capitol, all that another orchestrated event, that there's always FBI agents with any kind of group. They're always right there. These people infiltrate everything. So that's why I say, man, they know what's going on. They're never blind to what the fuck happened. Now, maybe occasionally, 1 out of 1,000 things they might get caught off guard, but overall, man, they always have some kind of agent or informant involved in all these situations, and they let these play. Now the person who's an informant, he's encouraging a lot of this shit. That's what they leave out. Like, he's setting the shit up, he's plotting, he's making plans. That'd be the fucked up part about it.
Attack plan.
Now, Shakiri also says he was told to watch 2 Jewish American citizens and was offered $500,000 by an IRGC official to murder either victim. All 3 are being charged with murder for hire. Rivera and Lodeholt are in custody right now. Shakiri still at large in Iran.
Yeah, they wasn't even. He said he was talking to the IRGC, Iranian government. Ain't no way. He was talking to a federal agent. Never was talking. He thought he was talking to somebody in Iran. Boy, he was talking to the feds the whole time. The feds was setting up the whole play. It's unbelievable. Yeah, you know, you gotta keep your head on a swivel out here. It's a lot of deception, you guys. A lot of deception out here. And, you know, I just want to go over these clips, go over this election, go over my prediction, see where I was at. Was I right? Was I wrong? And it looked like I knocked it out of the park again. This is why you tune in to Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on Elon Musk and snuck his Luciferian ass in the White House ride. Peace.